The
Loaded Joe's
MMA
Podcast.
Going back to drinking beer and eating fruit roll. There you go.
Backing off is the best exercise you can have. There's pleasure and there's workout.
UFC clamming in your windows, snatching your people up.
If they made basketball illegal, it wouldn't even bother me. I don't like other sports. They're boring to me. Everything else pales in comparison to the excitement of mixed martial arts fighting.
I will be successful. I will dominate it.
Where I come from, people like that get slapped.
In my opinion? Why is that? Because I said so.
Because I'm going to put those hands on you worse than that dude did with mother kids at Penn State.
Once again, we are underway.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Loaded Joe's MMA podcast. I'm Loaded Joe. I'm your boy Money Blake Weather, aka Blake Stevenson. With me as always, I got my co-host John Mirror. John, how's it going, buddy?
What up, y'all?
Oh man, how you doing today, John Miller?
I'm doing fine. It looks like you had to cut off the other one. Now.
Yeah, we're gonna cut off one of these. John Miller, we have another week, another episode of Loaded Joe's episode 4. Tonight it's just going to be me and John Miller, but we're going to reminisce. We've got so much UFC to cover since the last time we were over here.
Talk about tonight.
We have to talk about tonight.
Some rather
Switch
weird
mics.
ref calls coming out of it tonight.
Yeah, man. Tonight was an epic night of fights. If you missed it, in case tonight was UFC Fox 14.
Mike,
It was no. Hang on, real quick, John. Switch to that black mic. Yeah, it's UFC
Mic check.
Fight Night
All right,
14.
that's a lot better.
Yeah, UFC Fight Night 14. Gustafson and Johnson and Anthony Johnson came out there and
He
showed
put it on him. He put it on him.
showed why he is the number one contender for the light heavyweight belt, and he will be fighting John Jones next for it. I think that's going to be an exciting fight, John Miller.
No. I definitely. I mean, I was going for Gustafson to win, but hands down, Anthony took it to him and put it on display about how much power that he got.
He's got
in his hand.
so much power. Let me see. How do we adjust the levels on the? Is there a remote for the TV so that way we can turn it down a little bit? Okay. That one right there. Okay, cool. We want to turn that down a little bit. Okay, cool. We're gonna be watching some fights, talking some shit like we do on Loaded Joe's podcast. John Miller, let's take it old school. Or do you have any preferences? Look, we've got a number of fights.
Go ahead, put on Conor McGregor.
We'll
I know you wanna show me some stuff.
I'm gonna show John Miller some Conor McGregor. And for all those who've been living under a rock, Conor McGregor is now the number one contender for the featherweight belt.
Yeah.
We'll be fighting Jose Aldo. Tore up Dennis Seaver like I've never seen anybody else do. That's his fourth knockout in 5 fights inside of the UFC.
Yeah.
What did you think about that performance, man? That thing was.
It went as expected, at least to my eyes. I knew he was gonna, get him in the second round, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man, he did his thing.
Dennis did not have any kind of answer for him.
He had no
all.
answers.
I mean, at first, he was doing the leg kicks and stuff like that, but other than that, yeah.
Right, hello. Okay, that was weird, man. Apparently, the system had crashed on us, and we were talking for a good 20, 30 minutes. We missed 20, 30 minutes just to kind of wrap up. Apparently, John Miller says, I'm in love with Conor McGregor. John Miller will still lick his way out of a triangle. Doesn't care who it is.
Ronda Rousey. No, I do care who it is.
Even if it's Cyborg Santos, he said he'll lick his way out of
that's
a triangle.
It's not the case.
And we figured out how good Conor McGregor actually is by watching some of his fights. We watched the Steve O'Keefe, Dave Hill,
I was
Ivan.
told to check out his package by Blake.
You
I
can
have
check out
no
his
idea
everything's impressive on him, including his bulge. What else did we talk about? Super fights going on.
We definitely talked about the Pride. How a lot of the Pride fighters are coming back. CM Punk getting signed.
Yes.
Michael Krokoff coming up.
Mirko Krokop we got
and,
coming back.
Possibly Brock Lesnar getting signed up. All from what Blake says is to pay back a loan.
The UFC
that
took out a
UFC
loan
took
XYZ
out.
number of years ago, whether it's like 6, 7, 5 years ago. I mean, it's a growing business. They would have had to try and maybe maintain. And that's how you build established credit with a company.
Yeah.
So this year is going to be the year where they're going to
Put a lot of fights.
make a
that
lot of
people been wanting
pay-per-views
to see.
happen because they weren't making them happen before. Last year there was so many. The injury
injuries,
bug. The injury bug was
definitely injury.
Injury Fairy paid a visit to the UFC every time they went somewhere, and
But yeah, we're basically talking about the Pride fighters and how we like to see Mark Hunt fight. Possibly Mark Krokoff again.
Mirko Krokop, Nogueira.
Or Nogueira. I mean, I personally would like to have an old school card full of just the Pride fighters fighting each other. Fights that we wanted to see, them fight again, like a Rampage.
Absolutely.
And Rampage, who else did we want to see him fight?
Dude, let's name off all the fighters. So name all the fighters that they have right now that are signed from Pride. They have Rampage,
Yeah, Rampage.
Shogun, Nick Diaz,
Yeah.
Takanori Gomi,
Yeah.
Mark Hunt.
I mean, that's real crazy.
Mirko
how
Krokop.
many they have, yeah.
Who else? Gegard Mousasi, Jacare, Gilbert Melendez. Dude,
Yeah.
watch a Gilbert Melendez Nate Diaz fight. Just that fight there.
That would be a badass
That's
fight.
exciting.
Yeah.
That excites me. That turns me on. I've got a little bit of wood right now. Just got to mention that.
Well, it's more time I heard you say that tonight. So it's
That's the first time that the podcasters are hearing it.
definitely something to take note, I guess. So that means it's going to be a great fight Blake wants to see. So
I'm just saying, absolutely. But also one more thing, don't forget to check us out on Stitcher and iTunes, the Loaded Joe's MMA podcast. Again, you can find us on Twitter at Loaded Joe's MMA. You can find me, Money Blake Weather. You can type that in your search toolbar. If you want to find me exactly, you can find at Blake Stevenson, STEPHENSON. John Miller, where can people find you real quick in case they want to follow you?
The same old Twitter handle, John M ATX.
That's
It's
it,
short
right
for
there.
Austin, Texas. So you can hit me up there on Facebook, John M ATX. It doesn't matter anywhere. I'm
And-
available.
And we've established that John Miller's not my friend on Twitter just yet. He doesn't want to
Yeah.
follow me and my
my
nautical nonsense.
I'm not a follower. People have to follow me.
That's what people. That's what Jesus told people.
Well, I am. No, I'm just kidding. Like we were even discussing before that Conor McGregor, we believe that he believes that he's
I think
Jesus reincarnated to fight.
Conor McGregor
motherfuckers in this
is
life.
the
the truth in the way.
truth
right?
and the way and the light. I am the truth. I am the way. He is the shepherd when you're in a dark alleyway. And why
Yeah,
not?
It's been a pretty epic night so far, and
And I can't believe everybody missed it. I'm sorry. Last time we had cat issues. Remember that cat ran over our fucking soundboard?
we had cat issues. We had Loaded Joe's, other friends kind of being mad about the point system that we have in our
Oh
MMA
my
fantasy
God!
league.
Let's not deal with that.
So yeah, I mean there's a few things, but no cats, no people bitching.
Just this
about
time,
stuff.
it was just some fuckery going on with the equipment. I don't know a better way
Yeah,
to.
We just straight came in and took over his brother's house, but that's another story.
Some fuckery going on. Okay, so John Miller, while I go get some Pepsi and whiskeys, if we have a Pride card, name some Pride fights you'd want to see. Like the main event. You got 5 fights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 fights you'd want to see on that Pride card. What are they right now?
The main event. Excuse me, I do kind of have allergies right now, but the main event by far should be Shogun and Rampage going at it Part 2, yeah, like that's gonna be an epic fight since they just signed him back in. And let's see. Who else would there be? Mark Hunt and Nogueira. No, Nogueira or well, yeah, no, yeah, Mirko, yeah, and Nogueira fight. Yeah, that would actually be a better fight. I don't know, like I definitely want to see Mark Hunt, fight someone again. I mean, I know his last 2 fights he got, KO'd, but I really feel that he still has the potential to be a champion. Yeah, he beat.
Whoa. He beat Roy Nelson before he had that title shot. So, I mean, I don't think it's impossible to say Mark Hunt is out of the picture.
I mean, but who would you want him to fight out of the Pride, fighters? Oh, Arlovsky.
Arlovsky's there.
That would be a dope fight because they both.
I like that fight.
I
mean, he fought Bravista Verdum. Bravista Verdum was in Pride. You know who else was in Pride? Alistair Overeem. Alistair and Mark Hunt.
I don't, man. I
Part 2.
I think that's a bad fight.
It's not.
For
It's not.
Overeem, though.
It's not because Overeem's already beat him. He's already beat him once. You think it's bad because you're basing your
off of the Benoit,
off of the Overeem right now. I'm basing it off the Overeem that I know is talented, and
no, I mean, I'm not trying to take that away, but
submission artist. Like, I think Overeem's going to beat the shit out of Roy Nelson, because Roy Nelson's a slob. Like, when it comes to fighting, like, he just doesn't care anymore. Like, I've seen Roy Nelson. I expected some great things, and it's the same thing that we see over and over in Roy Nelson. Like, not great conditioning, just tries to land that right hand. He comes in all the time with those goddamn hurt knees. Like, no, dude, that's not what's gonna cut it right now.
Yeah.
Like, I think Alistair's gonna go in there, and I think he's gonna tear him up with knees to the body. Like, that gut's too big. That's too big of a target. Look at how young Gleison Tebow used to look. Look at this beautiful guy back in 2008. We're watching UFC 81 main event.
He actually looks better without hair.
God. But what do we know? We're just couch potato fans over here. We're Loaded Joes.
No, he's still pretty big in this one, but now he's
big now.
Now
dude.
he's huge, yeah. So.
Yeah, buddy. Wanna make sure everything's still going good. Yeah. Yeah.
And then another super fight I personally like to see this year is, well, let's say going on a far-fetched that Aldo loses and Conor wins. I'd like to see him and Pettis fight.
I want to see that fight.
They are both unorthodox and like to throw crazy.
They're crazy. But here's the thing. So Jose, when he was going to step up to fight Pettis, Dana White said he couldn't hang on to the featherweight belt. He had to give it up. So I think if Conor goes for it, though, I don't think Dana will put the same stipulation on him, which is fucked up.
Yeah, that's retarded. What? I mean, what? Yeah.
Because there's favorites in the UFC.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
they got look at how young Tyson Griffin used to look. This beautiful looking guy over here. But anyways, man, I mean, I think the Pride fights. Let's go back to the Pride thing, and then we'll go into super fights. So we got Pride fights, super fights. My Pride fight card, I think I'd have Nogueira and Mirko. That's a good fight right there.
Yeah.
I'd have, let me see. I'd have Nick Diaz and Gilbert Melendez. Can they meet at maybe a catchweight? I want to see that fight.
That would be amazing.
That would be an amazing fight.
That would be an amazing fight. Like their boxing styles.
This is crazy.
It's gonna mesh.
This is crazy. Yeah. Anderson used to fight in Pride. I want to see Anderson and Shogun go at it. I want to see Anderson and somebody from that weight class that used to be in Pride. Like, I mean, Nick Diaz used to be in Pride, which is nobody's really brought up that point, but it's gonna make a great fight. But Anderson and anybody from that, I mean, that weight class, like Anderson, and if they could bring Vanderlei back somehow, Anderson and Anderson Gegard, Anderson and Jacare, Anderson and of course I just said Shogun, Anderson and Rampage.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, yeah.
Whoa, dude. Like, who wouldn't buy that fight? Anderson and Rampage. You buying that fight? That's a pay-per-view.
Hey, but you know who had a crazy ass fight that wasn't in Pride with not Shogun, with
Who?
Wanderlei Silva, Brian Stan. That fight
was UFC. We already talked about this fight though. We talked.
Yeah,
about
I
this fight.
know, but I'm just saying if they could fight again, I'd love to see that fight. but
Brian Stan's
whatever.
retired though.
Huh?
Brian Stan's retired
He
though. He's not
he
coming
did.
back.
He officially retired.
He's retired. Like he retired after that fight. He's not coming back.
I mean,
He's all into the soldiers
as
and
many
shit.
times they both were getting dropped in that fight.
That's
yeah.
an amazing fight.
That was. I mean, I've never seen.
I want to
people
see
get dropped that
Rampage
much.
and Vanderlei Part 4. I
Yeah.
just want to see that. Who else? Who else? I'm missing. I need to see Takanori Gomi against Gilbert Melendez. That's a good fight. I don't think I've ever seen them fight.
Yeah, that'd be
They're
pretty
both
dope.
from Pride. They're both from Pride.
Yeah.
I know Takanori Gomi's he's like 37 years old right now, and
Yeah, I just don't see him doing it.
but I think it'd be a good fight. Like it's you're on a Pride card and you're just putting Pride fighters.
Yeah.
That's a good fight right there. You're putting on.
I ain't arguing with that. Yeah.
Who else, man? Who else used to fight in Pride? I don't know if Robbie Lawler used to fight in Pride. I want to say maybe, but probably not. Dan Henderson. Dan Henderson used to fight in Pride. Who we putting Dan Henderson with?
Oh yeah.
Of course he used to fight in
I
Pride.
mean, who gave him competition?
And Vitor used to fight in Pride.
Yeah, Vitor. Yeah, they're
And
all still doing pretty good. Yeah.
They're still doing good. Vitor. I want to see Vitor and Shogun.
Yeah.
That'd be a good fight. Vitor Shogun. Let's put Vitor Shogun on my thing. And let's say I got one more fight left, and I'll put Fabricio Verdum.
You know, but UFC would probably do it smart. I mean, I don't think they'll have all
They'd put it
these
in Japan.
badass
Yeah, they would. They
fighters.
put it in Japan.
I mean, but do you think they would have all those badass Pride fighters fighting again all on one card?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a really badass idea, but I think
they would.
they would
this
they
is the
would
year
milk the cash cow as long as they
This
could.
is the year
and,
they
and have like different separate
No,
cards.
they would do it all at once because they're gonna bankroll on one card. Like they're putting all their eggs in one basket, card per card. Like imagine if Conor
Yeah.
McGregor would have gotten injured. They've made an embedded series. They brought Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg down for a fight night. Like
for a fight night.
Like they don't never do no fight nights. They do Fox
Right.
cards and they do pay-per-views. That's all they do. You know who does the fight nights? The B team.
Yeah.
Maybe Kenny Florian,
it
John
doesn't feel
Anik,
the
or
same.
Brian Stan and John Anik, or you know what I'm saying? Dan Hardy and John Anik, somebody, you know. The B team, the Fight Pass team. You know what I'm saying?
No, I can see that.
But I mean, they're
well,
putting
I don't only see it, I hear it, and you can tell when Joe Rogan's not a part of it. Or
they're putting
or
their
Mike
eggs
Goldberg.
they're putting their eggs in one basket, fight per fight. You know what I'm saying? Like fight per fight as it goes. They're banking rolling that nobody gets injured. Anytime somebody does get injured, they got a backup plan, which is good. Like what was it for the Dillashaw? They had Cruz and Assunção. What do you think about this, man? So Assunção was supposed to be out of that fight where he fought TJ Dillashaw.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's fighting a month earlier, and he's fighting Uriah Faber. Isn't that silly? That's silly. Because he legitly, he's on a win streak. He's beat
Mhm.
TJ Dillashaw back in the day. You would think he's next. He is next in line. He was supposed to have next in line before Dominic Cruz had that amazing performance.
And they got hurt again.
But then apparently, so the word is ACL injury for Dominic Cruz, broken ankle for Assunção, and then they put Barao. And then all of a sudden, Assunção pops out of the woodwork, and they have a fight booked for him in Brazil against Uriah Faber. And so here's the thing: if Uriah Faber wins, they've already gone on record saying T.J. Dillashaw and Uriah Faber will fight
each other. Yeah.
Holy fuck! Who doesn't want to see that fight this year?
Yeah, that'd be good. People like to see a family fight, right? Family feud.
Family
Great
feud,
show.
man. What else, man? What other? Okay, so we've already gotten past the Pride. Now the super fights that they could do this year, like realistic fights, the biggest fights they can. Let's not say super fight, but biggest fights they can do this year. What are they doing this year, man? I'm saying they're gonna do Johnson Jones. That's gonna be a good one, dude.
Fight. Yeah,
That's
I mean
a
the
good
way
one.
he. The way
And
he
the co-main
pieced up
event is Gustafsson
Gus,
versus
man.
Cormier.
Yeah, man, I see DC taking that.
I do too.
Whatever.
Ryan Bader looked decent. Who are we putting him against? Are we putting him against the winner of Teixeira and Rashad? Because he's lost to both of them.
Yeah, that's not really fair. But whatever. I mean,
Did
it's
he
not
fight
I
Rashad?
can't
I don't know.
say. I can't say. It's
I don't know
not
if he's
fair,
fought
but-
Rashad. Did he fight Rashad? I know he's fought Teixeira and lost. I thought he lost. No, he didn't lose to Evans. I think he lost to Tito. He lost to Tito.
I mean, yeah.
Who the fuck loses to Tito? Jesus Christ.
So this kind of came across my mind. What do you feel? You think Rashad should change weight class? It just
Yeah, I think
like
he
to
should
me, I don't see him.
I think he should go down 185.
He's not going it. Like, when's the last time he fought John Jones?
Yeah. No. He beat. Was Phil
no,
Davis
yeah,
and
he
then John
fought somebody
Jones,
else.
and then he beat Dan Henderson.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he beat.
Yeah. Oh.
No, he beat Sonnen bad. He just.
Oh yeah, that was
steamrolled
his
him.
last fight.
That was his
Sonnen.
last fight, right? Yeah, I think. I mean, if he moved down to 185, he'd.
I think a
he'd
lot
do
of them are
really
moving down
great.
to 185. Like Leoto's been
Yeah.
down to 185, doing fucking great.
Yeah. He's looking tremendously well.
Shogun is going to go to 195 and then to 185. I want to see Shogun and Rashad Evans. Remember that fight was supposed to happen? When Shogun had the belt,
Mhm.
the fight that was supposed to happen was Shogun and Evans, and then Evans got hurt
Right.
6 weeks out,
Yeah.
and they put
Yeah.
John Jones in, and the rest
Is
is
history.
Conor McGregor history. Yeah, man.
It's pretty crazy. Like Gleason.
Gleason Tebow,
I mean,
dude, he
he's
just won his
been-
last fight. Did you see
yeah,
it?
nah, he's looking good. Like,
He's
it's
looking
so weird.
nice.
And what is that? Was his 24th fight in the UFC?
He's
Some
on a
outrageous,
15 fight
like-
winning streak, or no, he's won 15 or 16 fights now in the octagon. Like
It's crazy.
some outrageous number. Like he's
Yeah.
tied with Anderson Silva for like most wins in the octagon. That's fucking crazy, dude.
It
Like
is
he's been in there for a
crazy.
long time, and he's always kind of teeter-tottered. Like he's had like he'll do like three fights he wins, and then he'll lose one. They do like 3 fights, and he'll lose 2, and then he'll win like 4, and then lose 1. Like he's
Yeah.
always remained in the middle, but he's always been a tough customer for like these fucking
Yeah,
cats.
he's
you know?
more than a gatekeeper, definitely for sure. He's not just a gatekeeper. But
He's not just a gatekeeper, because then he can beat people. Like he was not supposed to beat Norman Park,
Mhm.
and he beats Norman Park. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a tough cookie, dude. And, like, be careful when you fight Gleason Tebow. Do not take him lightly.
I mean, he gave Khabib a hard time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Khabib's just been steamrolling people since then.
Khabib has been steamrolling. I mean, Khabib doesn't have any losses, but this wasn't an easy win for him.
No, it definitely wasn't.
Who else could we have, man? Maybe they could have like a Strikeforce versus Pride card, where they have like half the fighters used to be in Strikeforce, half the fighters used to be in Pride. Like, 'cause they could have like Bobby.
That would be dope too.
That'd be cool, right?
Half Strikeforce, half Pride. fight card.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, the possibilities are
good.
endless. Because no, that's what they've been doing. Even though they said the DC and John Jones fight had nothing to do with them wanting to keep that fight because of the press fight. You know, they actually had.
Oh yeah.
Which was complete and utterly bullshit. You know, that had the whole internet talking. Why would they?
Dude, I
not
had more
want that
people
fight to
asking me
happen?
about UFC when that came out. When they're like posting that, they don't even watch UFC, and they're like, "Oh, look what happened today."
Yeah.
I'm like, I was a little pissed off because like you're not UFC fans. Like, be a UFC fan or don't be a UFC fan, but don't just be a fucking follower. Like, don't just post shit that has nothing to do with your. I don't post football shit. You know why? Because I
Yeah.
don't watch fucking football.
Oh.
Like, don't be a fair weather follower. Like, I'm glad it brought eyeballs to the sport, and I'm glad more people bought into it. But like, I almost rather you just don't post nothing about MMA and like go along your merry way. But it brought a lot of eyeballs to the sport, man.
Yeah.
So, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. That's always a good thing. Yeah, man. I'd want to see Strikeforce though versus Pride, because I mean, you could have like Bobby Green on that
Yeah,
card.
that'd be crazy. Strike Force
Bobby Green versus
Pride.
Takanori Gomi. I like that fight a little bit more
Hey,
than
man, but Bobby Green probably eat him.
alive.
Yeah.
Bobby Green. Nick Diaz, you could have him. Dude, he could fight 185. He could fight Dan Henderson. Say he loses. I want to see him fight Dan Henderson.
Yeah.
Think about that fight. Just let that marinate for a second. I want to have Conor McGregor on that fight card too.
Golly, of course.
Conor McGregor will
Your
beat
lover.
everyone on that fight card.
Golly. Just by looking at him and doing his war face.
He'll talk shit against all of them and win, tournament style. Oh man, I wish people would have caught what was earlier on the podcast. That kind of makes me upset.
Yeah. Somehow we had technical difficulties and it froze recording, but
I know, man. That's stupid. Look
Yeah.
at that. This is old. This is how you know it's old school. They got tap out on their fucking shorts. You see Glayson's shorts? Just tap out. Did you used to wear tap out before? Or Affliction? Did you ever used to wear those?
I mean, an Affliction.
I think I have like
shirt.
an Affliction shirt somewhere, and I have like
Yeah.
2 tap out shirts. somewhere.
Yeah, I don't have a tap out shirt, but I had, a few douchebag shirts,
You-
It ain't in style no more, but
You
whatever.
have some Jersey Shore shirts.
Yeah,
red-
douchebag. But
Speaking of Jersey Shore, I ordered season 2. I need to watch it tomorrow.
this
You don't
dude-
understand, fool. I used to love me some Jersey
Yeah,
Shore.
your whole style was after Jersey Shore.
I used to live on the Jersey Shore. No, I'm just kidding. In my head, I used to live on the Jersey Shore. Love it, man. Love it to death. But anyways, let's get back to MMA. So, any big news that you're hearing out of MMA right now, John Miller? Anything that you're surprised about? Anything you want to talk about? I know Kimbo Slice is coming back. We got Miracle
Yeah,
Crow coming back.
I know he's coming back, and he was getting called out by the last dude that knocked him out. What was his name?
Seth Petrozelli.
Yeah,
The guy who
Seth
knocked
was-
him out in
So I come out of retirement and knock your ass out again.
Seth Petrozelli would, dude. Like, Seth is a beast.
I mean, UFC is definitely taking a lot of big names and trying to turn
Do
them
something with him.
around.
CM
Yeah.
Punk. Like this year, CM Punk, Miracle Crow Cop. I'm sure they're going to sign Brock Lesnar.
They're really doing everything for the fans. They're trying to get all.
They're trying to
these
get those
fights
pay-per-view buys, bro.
done. Yeah.
That's what's important.
But we'll see. Hopefully some good things come out of it. I know a lot of people complain about stuff like that, but I think overall it's going to be bringing what their main fan base wants to see. So great fights, great wars.
Yeah, man.
So I mean that's really what it's all about. So
Fuck yeah.
and
I mean, I'm glad that they're able to do this finally. I mean, I've been missing me some Mirko. Like, I love Mirko. He's probably one of my top 10 favorite fighters. Like,
yeah.
in Pride, like, there's certain fights you go back and watch. Like, you just go back to Pride.
he's
and watch.
on a majority of the highlights.
Right. I was
Like
just about to
literally
say that.
almost every
Like, there's certain fights
other
like
highlight.
I would
it's
go back and
Mirko
watch.
Cro Cop.
Yeah, there's certain fights I go back to watch Pride. Like, okay, so first off, I go back to watch old school Pride fight. I go back to watch some Fedor. Right. I got Fedor, and I have Vanderlei, because you always want to watch some old school Vanderlei Pride fights, right? And then
Yeah.
thirdly, you go back and you watch some Mirko Cro Cop fights.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just the way it goes. You want to watch some good submissions, you go watch Nogueira, but you want to watch some knockouts?
Well, yeah. I guess for Pride, it's Royce Gracie for UFC, but whatever.
Yeah, Gracie's didn't do too well in Pride.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, unless your name
Well,
was
because
Henzo,
everyone, you know, pretty much caught
everybody
on
figured
to it
out
by then.
no, like, no, you're not. Yeah, I'm not gonna fall for that little fake front kick that you're throwing there. That's not gonna fly today, Junior.
Yeah.
But yeah, Henzo Gracie was about the best one that did in Pride, and he didn't transition too well inside of UFC.
Yeah.
Man, they should bring Matt Hughes back. Fight CM Punk. Dang. Just kidding.
So yeah, you know, speaking about food, I'm getting kind of hungry.
I'm getting kind of hungry, John Miller.
Yeah.
We got a lot of food around us. You want to get some food after this?
Nah, I definitely want to go grab some grub.
What do you want? What are you thinking of, my friend?
A burger.
Burger from where?
You already know. Do I have to say it?
Which
Burger, a what?
Oh, the What A Burger?
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm talking about some breakfast from What A Burger.
Oh, you can get the good
Gets
old
me
classic
I gets me a
biscuit and gravy.
Nah, I gets me a honey butter chicken biscuit. I get me a little honey butter chicken biscuit.
But yeah, we definitely came in this in his brother's apartment, took this bitch over. So
Yeah, we did, man, and we got
I
the
feel bad for
UFC
him.
rolling. We watched some boxing fights today. And in case you
I
missed
learned something about
some boxing.
Yeah, about some
Bro, my brother
boxing.
was school on boxing. Dude. That's where I learned boxing from, my brother.
That's the one you talk about. You kicked him, right?
Yeah, I kicked my brother. Like you asked my brother. My brother, I kicked him in the leg. Like he thought he could take my hits. I kick him in the leg, and he goes down. He's like, ah! Yeah, man. But he punched me in the stomach first day we met. So fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I wanted to spar with him. I was barely getting into MMA, and I was wanting to work on my boxing, and I seen him hit him a punching bag. It was love at first punch, man. You know what I'm saying?
Not really, but yeah.
Yeah, man. I was like, I want to spar with you, and he was like, what? So yeah, man. I was like, no. I'm gonna get better. Like that's how I get better. Like just sparring. And so I sparred and got jabbed in the stomach and went down, and it was love at first punch, man.
And my McDonald's came up after that.
Luckily, I didn't barf. I've never barfed after a MMA practice or a boxing practice. But yeah, if I was not eating the right things, I probably would have. Just it would not have been good for anybody at that point.
Nah.
But I recommend. So here's a few things I'm going to recommend. I recommend you go ahead and read you some articles on MMA. I recommend you go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher. I recommend Loaded Joe's MMA podcast. I recommend for people to go check out Conor McGregor highlights if they want their lives to be so much easier, because he makes people's lives easy. I recommend you send us any questions that you have about anything MMA related. We'd love to hear some feedback from our peoples. I recommend you go out and you try to take an MMA or boxing class just to see what the fuck these fighters go through. Now, John Miller kind of put it on a ending note for the last few minutes that we have here. Tyrone Woodley recently released a tweet talking about how people are like they should go through a camp to kind of understand what fighters go through.
Mm-hmm.
And that they are most fans are fair weather fans, and they repeat what like Dana and Joe say, like when as far as like don't let it go. It's basically it started off with not letting it go to the judges. You know, a lot of people say don't let it go to the judges. Dana White's thing is never leave it in the hands of the judges.
Yep.
He's like, well, sometimes you can't really help it because like the other fighters are just as good as you, and as you get into the higher echelon, like shit happens.
Yeah, you can't help
It's not
it
like you walk
sometimes.
in and be like, I want this to go to the judges. It's like, no, like I didn't want it to go to the judges, and it did, and it didn't go my favor. But he was like, you don't understand how hard this is with your family and life and balance and, just everything you have to go through to be a fighter. He was like, I recommend for people to go through an 8-week camp, take an amateur fight, and then they'll probably have a better appreciation instead of being like, couch potato fans. You know what I'm saying? And
that's what I am. I'm an average Joe MMA fan that don't like to do his homework unless it's an hour before it's due. But whatever.
I'm much more of a. I've been doing MMA for the last on and off for the last 6 years. In March it'll be 6 years that I've been doing it on and off, and more often on than off. But I've been training and I know I have an idea. Like you go through a workout and you understand these fighters go through this shit every day. Go through these hardships every day. They put their body through this shit every day. It's an insane thing to do. I kind of feel what Tyron Woodley was saying. What do you think about that, John Miller?
I would try it just so I change my perspective on it.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Just to, it sounds like a fun challenge.
Right, exactly. Challenge yourself, because that's what these fighters are doing. He's basically saying, fighter, you can't have an opinion of like, you can't just be like, oh, it's so easy for these fighters to let it go to the judges when you never know what they're going through. Just to have that perspective, that introspective of what they're doing, what they're going through.
Yeah, it sounds painstakingly hard and fun at the same time, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a very good challenge to a lot of people that talk shit about the fighters.
I think so too. There's a lot more people I see that talk shit about fighters than understand the sport, or they watch it but they don't know what it's like to take a leg kick. They don't know what it's like to take a punch in the face. They don't know what it's like to go through training for all that. The hours that you spent working combinations. So yeah, man. Anything else though you want to close out with though today? I think we're gonna close it out.
I mean, yeah, everything has been
last
good
few
so
minutes
far.
here.
I know we did a little quick summary of what
we
rambling
were
went
doing
through
earlier
tonight. Yeah, but
I think the fans
other than
appreciate something that we're giving them. Fans,
I wish y'all a good night.
If you're listening to this, raise your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care.
Go eat some burgers.
Go eat some Whataburger. I'll promote Whataburger. We can't promote Whataburger because
and our sponsor Whataburger.
We can't. No, we're not. They're not sponsoring us yet. Until they sponsor us, I'm not going to promote Whataburger. Do not go to Whataburger. If you're going to go to Whataburger, give them a letter and tell them to promote Loaded Joe's MMA podcast.
Loaded Joe's MMA.
We love it.
Live from Austin, Texas.
Late night. This is your late night podcast that you want to listen to when your girlfriend's bitching at you and
you ain't got shit to do.
You ain't got shit to do. You got some drinks in you, or you're at work and you bored as fuck. You ever get like that, John Miller?
All day, every day.
Boy.
And I troll when I'm bored.
I don't know. What does trolling mean nowadays?
Man, trolling. See someone post something.
You just fuck with them to fuck with them?
You just want to say some dumb shit, get under their skin, talk some shit. Just be a troll. That's what trolling means.
You want to Conor McGregor him.
Yeah. Keyboard warrior, though.
Keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
I'll be a real Conor McGregor, though. I'll pee in their mouth.
Yeah. No comment. But anyways.
All right, yeah. I think this is going to be another successful episode of Loaded Joe's MMA podcast. We didn't have any guests on today, but you know what? We had a lot to cover. I mean, we just kind of recap. We had the UFC, Jones Cormier. Of course, Jones came out with the win. I think I called that, but just barely by the eke of the skin, and that's kind of what it looked like. We had the UFC fight night with Conor McGregor. Conor's looking amazing, and I can't wait to see what he looks like against Jose Aldo. I think he's going to take the belt.
And Gus and Rumble.
And then tonight we had Gustafsson. And
Gus got his karma for trying to play dirty against Rumble. He can't eye poke him.
You can't eye poke somebody
kick him in the face.
and then kick him in the face when you're going to tap gloves and then not expect to get punched in your face because That's how you get punched in your face.
and get TKO'd. But anyways,
And then we had the Masasi and Dan Henderson.
early
Maybe it was a
stoppage,
little
but it's cool.
premature stoppage. Maybe Dan Henderson's getting a little old to be taking hits. I don't think this is the last time we see him. Good on Masasi. He's gonna move on. I think he'll fight somebody like Luke Rockhold or Yoel Romero. Whoever loses in their next fight, one of those two. Whoever loses their next fight.
Yep.
He'll fight somebody like that, and yeah, we'll look forward to next week. We have Anderson Silva, Nick Diaz. Do you have any winner for that particular fight, John Miller?
Well, of course, Anderson Silva.
I got Anderson Silva as well, and John Miller said he will. Ladies, if you get him in a triangle, he will lick his way out of it. So
That's a true story.
be sure to message him on Twitter if you're into that type of thing. Me, I like to stay with the money Blake Weather. Follow me again at Blake Stevenson on Twitter. Follow us at Loaded Joe's MMA on Twitter. Please do. Please check out the podcast, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, all that good thing. We're not on Facebook, but you know what?
We'll get there.
Do you really like? Do you really just like? Would you really follow it if we were, or would you rather just go to YouTube, Twitter, iTunes, and listen to it when you're riding in your car?
Well, I say go anywhere.
We need to get
and
there. We need to get
everywhere
there.
The girl tells you to go. Boom. But anyways, it's been a great night.
Been a great episode. We wish everybody love, peace, and chicken grease. Once again, Loaded Joe's. We are out. All right, everybody, take it easy. Peace.